What's up, people? It's your boy D-Rock coming to you with another episode of the HSC. This is the week of the masterclass. This week, straight masterclass energy. We kicking everything off from the ring with Canelo versus Crawford, and we giving you boxing at its finest with Billy, Martinez, Vargas, and Walsh, showing flashes too. Then we gonna hit the field, Houston Cougars versus Colorado Buffaloes, and we got a lot of other college football Saturday talk to go about, weather delays, a bunch of drama, standout players, and all the big time matchups that happened last week, plus the ones that's ahead. Then we got to roll into the NFL. We're going to talk about those disappointments, those Dallas Cowboys, Russell Wilson, and everything that he brought to the game. And then we got to get into the Texans and much, much more. Man, it's so much to talk about.
You feel it, you know it. D-Raw Productions.
Houston Sports Connoisseurs brought to you by
D-Raw.
C. Ricks! Ricks on the mic.
I got C. Ricks on here today.
What's going on, people? Glad to be back. Thank you, D-Raw, for having me.
It's been an interesting week and weekend that just, surpassed. Looking at the boxing matches, we talking about not only the main cards in Canelo and Crawford, but even in Billy and Martinez was a good matchup. Did you see that, bro? Like, them boys, they went punch for punch, round for round.
What I liked about that fight, because don't get me wrong, I know we're going to talk about the Canelo and Crawford fight. That fight right there was just two, I don't even know how to describe them. I think like just two brawlers, just basically just going at it. Them two was literally just beating the crap out of each other. I feel like that was the first time I've seen in a while an undercard almost surpassed the main card. Because I ain't gonna lie, I know when I was anticipating the main event, I thought it was gonna be a brawler type fight as well. But then I realized to myself, like, no, Bud don't fight like that. So I know it's gonna be more of a technical show, more of a very defensive fight. And it didn't even turn into that. But hey, shout out to everybody that was on the undercard. Great performances out of every fighter.
Yeah. Like you said, man, it was really like a brawling fight in Billy and Martinez. Then you got Vargas and Walsh. That was a little different set of tempo. But even those two, they kind of brawled it out too in a different way.
Yes.
To where it looked like it was really a tie at the end as well. I would say those two cards should have been ties, together. And then you got the real meat of the night and Canelo and Crawford.
Well, if that was the meat, that was the skinniest steak I ever seen in my life. Because Canelo didn't show up. Bud showed up.
Man,
Canelo didn't show up.
Canelo showed up. See, people don't realize.
Not the Canelo I know.
Bro, that was the Canelo you've been knowing and been seeing. He just ain't ran into nobody as defensive and who can really box like Crawford in a long time since he ran into Mayweather. Then you also got to think about it like this, bro. Canelo picks his fights. He avoids a lot of competition, top competition, in my opinion.
Okay.
So
but they said the same thing about Mayweather too.
Yeah, and Mayweather did his due diligence in doing that as well. But the way Canelo fight, he's a bully in the ring. He likes to allow you to. Most people that he get in the ring with like to throw a lot of punches and try to see if they can get him early. But Bud is a different kind of guy. He's a lot smarter than any other boxer he probably fought. He's probably even smarter than Mayweather.
I noticed that too. Because I noticed how he was toying with him, tapping on his gloves with the jab. He hit him with a lot of and I noticed that Canelo does not jab at all.
Yeah.
Canelo just goes for the knockout punch. And I was like, you not trying to score no points?
And that's what I'm saying. But you got to think about it. If Canelo was jabbing throughout the fight, do you really think he even got the wind to even prolong, the go 12 rounds jabbing around and fighting his style, that's not Canelo's style. I don't think
And
he would have made it.
I understand that, but just standing there, just getting hit because he was getting brutalized. Now, don't get me wrong, he got Bud with a couple of good shots. His best round really was the 5th and the 7th round. That's when you got to see like prime Canelo really just going. But all of those power punches, I feel like those would wear you down more than the jab will. That's all he was throwing.
Yeah,
Like that can't be his whole style. Just going 12 rounds, finna just throw power punches.
but see, for me, bro, that's why I always said to me, Canelo is a good boxer, but he's not a great boxer. Wow. He just know how to pick his competition correctly to where he make himself look great. And he ran into a great boxer the other night in Crawford that people didn't, and they didn't want to respect him, talking about size and style and this and that. All the kudos they trying to give to Canelo, but not respecting what Bud really brought to the ring. And then he actually, had his chance to really present himself and show people what he really got, what he really about. I've been watching Bud. So what he delivered is what I expected. We can go back and look at the last fight when he fought Majimov.
Okay.
They talk about how he struggled against Majimov, but people got to realize Majimov has a real interesting technique and style of boxing. He's highly active. He's always he's like a kid with ADHD. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow, okay. He moving around. He trying to
always moving. He never stopped. And then the way he threw his punches was kind of crazy too. But to see Crawford still figure out a way to win that fight, even though he had got dealt some blows in that fight, no lie. People got to realize that's a totally different kind of dude, a totally different kind of boxer. And even then, that goes kudos to Crawford with his thoughts, the way he can outbox you, the way he uses his body, the way he uses his hands, the methods. And that's why I feel like Canelo never really had a chance, bro, in my opinion.
I can't lie to you. That was like a real masterclass of boxing because he took all of Canelo's strengths and made him his weakness. Canelo left himself open for just like easy punches to the face. Now he do got a strong chin. I give him that.
He got a strong chin.
Because he ate a lot of shots. But I noticed too, he didn't Bud didn't bother hitting him in the body, trying to slow him down. But I noticed that was Canelo's game plan. And then I'm trying to follow Max Kellerman. He was like, oh, yeah, Canelo's really going to show it. He's going to give him that power. Oh, you just wait and see. Bud's never been hit like this. Canelo's going to hit him hard. And it's like, I never saw it. And it's like a lot of times it's like, I'm like, what's really going on here? Because Bud mocked him the whole fight. Every time Canelo threw a punch, he shake his head like, no, that wasn't it.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't it.
Yeah, he letting them know, like, all that talk you talking about, I hit hard, I deliver this, I deliver that blow. Bud was eating that, bro. It was great.
Yeah. And I think the best shot that I seen Canelo get, I think he did hit him in the face. And it's like Bud just shook it off. And then even when he accidentally headbutted him in the 6th round and cut his eye open, I noticed that I felt like Canelo tried to target that more, and then it just made Bud realize, oh, you just trying to target this? Well, let me move around even more. Even when he had Bud in the corner, he literally just trying to go for the haymaker, and he got out the corner, and the next thing you know, did Canelo really even have a game plan for this kind of fight?
It was the same game plan he always had. Bully somebody into the corner and then try to deliver my hook. That overhand he liked to deliver. It wasn't working. And then Bud, he had a timer in his head to where okay, I need to get out this corner. Okay, let me move this way. He already systematically knew what Canelo was gonna try to do. And it just played to his advantage the whole fight. And I'm gonna be honest, bro. I would say at least 2 of those rounds in that fight, they gave to Canelo.
Yeah, really in the later round. You talking about round 9 and I think round 10, because he didn't have anything. By that time, he was already gassed. 9 and 10, he was gassed, and he was just throwing every haymaker he could. Now, some of them did land, but they just gave him those. The only way he was collecting points off them haymakers. He had no jab. He had no type of real technique. He was just trying to go in there and just power punch and thinking everybody was gonna fall like everybody else did, and that was not the case.
It was not
It was
happening,
a
bro.
horrible
And
fight for Canelo.
I'm gonna tell you this. It kind of got crazy because the way they were trying to give him a couple rounds, it almost made me feel like, man, if they get this fight to Canelo, bro, I'm done watching boxing.
Nah, they
Like it
couldn't.
was looking
They
like
couldn't
that.
get that fight to Canelo. There was no way possible because he lost. He technically lost every single round except I know for a fact. I feel like the only rounds he truly won was 5 and 7. Every other round he lost. And then, as a matter of fact, I think around like round 8, even Max Kellerman started changing his tune about like how he was calling the fight. I'm not trying to call Max Kellerman out because Max Kellerman knows a lot about boxing. He
He
does.
do,
He knows
but
a lot
I
about
ain't
sports.
saying
But
out,
he
bro.
was riding Canelo all the way until he couldn't.
He
He did
was.
at
That's what I
one
was about
point
to
he just
say.
like
Like,
he had no choice but to be like, you know what? Canelo's not looking good in this fight.
yeah,
He's
like
not looking good.
I mean, like from the first round to like you said, like 7 round, they rolled Canelo so hard.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, he's got the power. Oh,
yeah,
he's got it.
how he gonna take this shot? How's he gonna deliver? You know, how he gonna respond when he get hit by Canelo? I'm like, bro, like they talking like he's Superman or something. Like,
Yeah, and then they talking about, oh, all the fans came to see Canelo. There's nobody here for Bud. Like, what is going on? I'm like, we in Vegas. You just there to see the fight. Man, I ain't
yeah,
gonna lie to
bro.
you. It was a lot of upset Hispanics though after that fight.
Oh yeah, it's
It was a
cool though.
lot of upset Hispanics after
Hey,
that fight.
Bud got what 4 belts now, 3 or 4 belts. It's the most a boxer ever had at one time. Well, besides your girl, what's her name? The
Oh, Clarissa
yeah,
Shields.
Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields, she got 4 belts. But as far as a male, he's the first male to ever have 4 belts at one time ever in boxing
Yeah.
history. So Bud doing something special to me. He's considered a GOAT in my book. Canelo is a good boxer. I don't consider him a GOAT, but that's just me. You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
so since you say that, Crawford is a GOAT. So now I gotta ask you the greatest GOAT debate. Do you feel in his prime, Mayweather or Bud? Do you feel like Bud can beat Mayweather?
See, that would be a great technical fight. It's almost like I'm ready for them to go ahead and do this little exhibition because I just feel like that's going to be something that's going to come about at some point
Yeah,
just
because
for
they're
the
gonna
fun.
retire. But I feel
You know
like
what I'm saying?
I don't want him to fight Mayweather now because it's like, it
Yeah,
wouldn't be the
it ain't.
same. Because they
Nah, it
basically
ain't.
just like fighting for charity. So they're not out there to hurt each other.
Yeah.
Just like when Mayweather fight Tyson, it's for charity. They're not gonna really just be pounding each other, heads in.
Yeah.
It's just
I
gonna
ain't
be
gonna
like,
lie,
okay,
bro.
it's gonna be a couple of taps here, a couple of taps there, and it's over. Now,
Yeah.
this Davis versus Jake Paul, that might be a little different because
Man, that's
I really think this is Davis's last fight. I don't
bro.
know why he chose Jake
Now I
Paul.
had the question. Do you think Davis versus Paul or Tyson versus Mayweather is even good for boxing?
Um, I believe that is in certain aspects it is. I look at it like this. I feel like Davis is helping Jake Paul finally get some recognition because I feel like this is one of the first real big names that he's fought that's actually close to his age, close to his type of stature as far as like boxing. Because you fought a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. He wouldn't have fought Mike Tyson if he was still in his 30s or his 20s.
Right.
He wouldn't, his brother fought Mayweather. Mayweather was like what, 50 when he fought him? So it's not the same. Jake, like, why doesn't Jake Paul fight somebody like Anthony Joshua? Or why doesn't he fight somebody, that's in his weight class that can still be considered a top boxer
Because
today?
he know they ain't finna waste their time on that, bro. And to me, it's bad for boxing, bro. You know, somebody like Tank getting in the ring with Paul, it just don't make sense. You got people out here that really want to have a title shot with you. You call yourself the GOAT. There's real boxers out here that will really put that money in your pocket that you going chasing over there with Paul. Yeah, I mean, it's an exhibition. You don't take no losses, really. You really ain't got to train for it, really,
True.
and all that kind of stuff. But man, when we talking about money and we talking about viewership and notoriety, it's a lot
They,
of boxers, right? out here
But they
that
put a lot of money behind Jake Paul. That's why I feel like Jake Paul needs to use his platform to put other boxers on. If you claim you're as good as you say you are, then why don't you finally, put your money where your mouth is and fight a real boxer that's in your weight class and close to your age?
yeah. I mean,
Because
and it's the same for him. Yeah,
and
it's
then
the same.
I don't like what Anthony Joshua doing right now. Now he want to fight Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury done retired twice already. Now you want to fight him? Come on,
Hey,
bro.
bro. Well, Anthony Joshua ducks a lot of people too, so it
Oh,
ain't no surprise. And some of the boxers that he has gotten the ring with have he been defeated. So, I mean, I'm not too surprised about what Anthony Joshua does at this point.
not at all. Not at all. Because I actually had him at one time as the next Lennox Lewis, probably because of where he's from. And I've seen like his boxing technique. I know his power and skill set, but right now he's not really showing me like he's the premier boxer that he, what I'm saying, supposed to be.
Well, Deion Sanders and Houston faced off against each other. Houston won 36-20. Wegman showed out
I,
against Deion,
that
and
was a
Staub looked bad.
no. I won't say that. I won't say that because I feel like we need to put the highlight where the highlight is. We need to put the highlight on U of H because they are the ones that performed well. Colorado, what they tried to do is not working. And you said this last year. I wish you had film that you could pull this up. You said Colorado tried to move to the Big 12 because they thought everybody was going to be a pushover and they was going to get easy wins. And so far, it has not happened yet. And last Thursday proved it. Like you can't
Oh
just
yeah,
come in and think that everybody's just going to be like some kind of stepping stone for you to get to the playoffs or for you to actually get like some recognition, recruits or whatever. Number one, yeah, we can say, they a Power Five school. Whoop-de-doo. But the point is, they're not getting the recruits that they once did. Deion Sanders' name is not as big as everybody thought it once was, so he's not getting that recognition. So he's not really doing for the school that he once was. In my opinion, he should have stayed at Jackson State.
well,
He was
yeah,
big.
I agree. I agree.
Oh,
He
good.
should have stayed at Jackson State, but you know, I feel like he needs to figure out his quarterback situation. One week you got Salter starting, then one week you got Ryan Staub starting, and now the next week he's talking about going back to Salters. But you look at Ryan Staub, he was 19 for 35, 204 yards passing, QB rating, bro, 27.7. Dion left him in there to struggle and expected like they was gonna get some kind of turnaround. At some point after halftime, I feel like he should have made the change, even though it was 14-16 at the half.
Uh-huh.
He should have made a change at some point in the second half to help the team. But overall, man, I'm happy with the result. 36-20 win by U of H. The defense looked aggressive. They looked great. Connor Wegman looked great. Dean Connors ran all over them boys. He looked great. So moving forward into the bye week, U of H is, riding a great high. And then after that
As they
bye week, they'll
should.
be able to face Oregon State. So things is looking up for University of Houston.
Yeah, they deserve it too because they have come through a lot of adversity. They finally getting the recruits that they need. They finally building an offense the way the coach wants it to be. And look, whoever we got to go through, whoever we have to deal with, I like the fact that they are devising a game plan for those specific teams and making it happen. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing from U of H. Very happy.
Yeah, for sure. Um, Man, it was like weather delay central this past weekend.
Hey, well,
I'm talking about,
the weather is terrible right now. If it's not a
bro.
hurricane 1 minute, well, not some hurricane, but it's a lot of rain, it's a lot of tornadoes, it's been a lot of like from baseball all the way down to the pros.
Yeah, I'm talking about South Florida, Miami delayed, Oregon State, Texas Tech delayed, USC, Purdue delayed. It's like, man, every time I was trying to watch a solid game, a solid matchup, they was all in a delay. So that was pretty crazy. But USC got the victory. Texas Tech got the victory. South Florida got destroyed by Miami. I didn't expect that one, but they got the
No,
victory.
you should have expected that because you thought because they beat Florida, a shitty team, you thought they was gonna be able to hold their own weight against Miami. Miami is way better than Florida. And Hey, I hate to say it, my boy Billy Wagner. I mean, what's his name? No, not Billy Wagner. That's a baseball legend. Hold on, who is the head coach in Florida? It's Billy something. Hey, well,
Napier.
yeah. Either way, we ain't gonna remember him too much longer. He's gonna get fired because I don't care what nobody said. That program brings in too much money for that team to play like that. Too much money. You
Oh
have
yeah,
too many boosters. You have too much alumni to sit there and let that team just fall by the wayside like that. Because think about it. Florida State is better. Miami is better. Everybody on the big deal like, oh my God, Florida football is back. Then you got the Florida Gators out there just
stinking it up,
not happy. Just
stinking
stinking
it
it
up.
up. I'm talking about they in a 2-month-old diaper, just letting it just drag the ground. Horrible. Horrible.
Man, well, they fellows to the north, Georgia, they look good against Tennessee.
No, they
Ten-
didn't. Hey, no, 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 no. Tennessee blew that game, man. Tennessee had them beat. They just
hey,
put too much pressure on the kicker, and he just couldn't deliver, man.
well, look, I'm not surprised that they blew the game because Tennessee has lost to Georgia like 8 times in a row, bro.
But this is a time. Like, let me tell you something. I was going somewhere Saturday night. Waited. I waited to see what was going on because number one, when he went out there to kick that field goal, because he was over there practicing, he was getting ready. I'm like, I saw it in his eyes. I'm like, yeah, he not ready. He not ready. He not ready. And then I'm gonna tell you the play that blew that game for Tennessee. When they did that false start and they had to move back 10 yards, it ruined it. Do you feel like the crowd got to him as far as like, trying to make sure that he was like, do you think they made him nervous? Because the kick was inexcusable. That
I
shit just
mean, look,
said wide left,
I
bro. Like,
mean, I think the crowd could get to him, and then the moment as well. We talking about 100 some thousand fans sitting on top of you, expecting you to succeed, and then, like I said, all that pressure. They haven't beat Georgia in like 7, 8 times in a row at that point. So it's like, man, if I could hit this kick, the world gonna love me. Everybody in this stadium gonna love me. But he failed, so it's like, are they really gonna hate me though? Because it ain't like we've been beating them, so it ain't gonna be no difference. But I could have been a
but
hero today.
but let's be real. But what do you think hurts more? I'd rather get blown out by a team that's already been blowing me out than to actually have the game won and then lose like that. I think that loss hurts more than getting blown out. Because you
It,
had the game, you was leading the whole game. Yeah, you let them come back, but you had a chance to finally put them out of their misery, and you still couldn't. I feel
yeah,
like those losses hurt more.
yeah, that one probably does hurt the most. But a loss is a loss, bro.
Hey, look, shout out to Josh Heupel, man. Hey, look, you coached your ass off in that game, but hey, it's still a loss for you, my boy. But hey, you did damn good. Don't get mad at the team. Don't get mad at the players. Don't get mad at the other coaches. You did your part. The ball just didn't go your way that day. It is what it is.
It was a lot of upsets though. You had Notre Dame losing the A&M 40. Was it
That wasn't that wasn't
41-40?
that wasn't an upset. That wasn't an upset to me. And I'm gonna tell you why. That wasn't an upset because Notre Dame is still riding high from last year, and they haven't realized they're playing in 2025 now. You know, teams are improving. Because think about it. In the off season, what team did we hear about the most? Notre
Notre
Dame.
Dame.
Yeah. Oh, they got this. They got Larry Fitzgerald's son. They got Jerome Bettis' son. They got this person's son. That person's son. Is it translating into wins?
Not right now. So look, with them losing again, do you feel like Marcus Freeman is on the hot seat?
No. He's not on the hot seat. But that's like saying Dabo Sweeney is on the hot seat because Clemson lost again.
Dabo Swinney on the hot seat, bro. A
What?
2014 win loss.
Why?
Come on, bro. The
Why?
2014 Georgia Tech. The Georgia
Hey,
Tech.
let me tell you something. Hey, Georgia Tech, hey, they not a pushover team. You gotta be ready. Hey, look, hey, what did my boy Herman would say? This is why we played the game. Okay, you got to be ready for any and everybody. You can't just assume, oh, it's Georgia Tech, we finna smoke them. You can't do that no more. Cause guess what? In today's college, you can pay anybody.
Yeah,
You
you
can
can.
pay anybody. You can pay for a championship. I'm
And
still trying to figure out why Oregon
you
ain't
don't
done it,
think
but hey, pay for a championship.
you don't think that Clemson is dumping a whole lot of money on these players, bro? I'm pretty sure they got a bigger
They not dumping enough.
allotment of money put out on
They
their roster than Georgia Tech.
let's be real. Now let's be real. We haven't really heard of Clemson. I'm gonna be honest with you. Clemson wasn't good until they recruited Deshaun Watson, and then they got Trevor Lawrence. You know, that's when they really just stepped up and be like, oh wow, it's other teams. Because let me tell you something. What state is Clemson in?
North Carolina, right? Or is it
Oh
South
shit. See, I
Carolina?
thought it was South Carolina. See, that's my point. That's my point. We don't really know. We know it's in the Carolina,
Yeah.
but the point is they're not relevant. Like South. Look, let's be real. South Carolina was relevant because of who? Clowney and Steve Spurrier. They didn't go anywhere. North Carolina was they known for basketball.
Basketball.
So look, they try to play football. They done brought Bill Belichick in, got them out there getting embarrassed.
Hey, TCU had to they butt up, dog. Ain't gonna lie. I
But
was,
that's what I'm saying. It's like we can't just say like, "Oh my God, Clemson's so great." You know, like Dabo don't need to be on the high seat. If that's it, Mike Gundy should be on the high seat. Why is he still doing the Oklahoma State? My point exactly. See, if we're gonna call a spade, we gotta just
but
go and
hey,
try to
look,
spade all the way
Mike
through.
Gundy might be on the hot seat though,
Okay.
especially after the way they got destroyed last week.
You ain't bullshitting. Detroit wasn't the word. Hey, it was
Yeah.
good talking to you as always.
Looking at some players that stand out so far in college, the one player that stand out the most to me is Baron Morton. You look at Baron, man, he's having a pretty special year so far for Texas Tech. I know we only 3 games in, but you look at 57 completions out of 81, 11 TDs, and 1 interception. It's not a lot of quarterbacks that's doing that on the Power 5 level. We're talking about 1 interception. That means he has a pretty good QB rating currently. So he's playing at a high level. And he also got 923 yards passing. So we're looking at just right sub under 1,000 yards passing already by week 3. But also, I know a lot of people got to take into the fact that Texas Tech run one of those high power offenses like a spread. They quick where they go, back and forth, not much time in between, huddle kind of type of offense. So he's gonna rack up and stack up a lot of yards very quickly. But that also just goes to say him running that offense in a Power 5 conference against the schools that he have ran against, you got to say hats off to him, man. I know, but we'll see what he does against Utah. They have Utah coming up, and he's going against Devon Dampier. Dampier has yet to throw an interception so far this year. He got 7 passing touchdowns. Dampier is having a pretty good season so far as well. Both teams are undefeated. You look at Texas Tech number 17, Utah Utes number 16. We're looking at possibly a shootout. But the interesting thing is that Utah is favored in this game. This is the big noon game, so expect big noon action. If it was me, I'm a ride with Texas Tech though. I like to see Texas Tech go ahead, beat Utah, and then the following week face off against the University of Houston, and that's going to really make something humongous happen here in Houston. And hopefully that means that we get Lee Corso in the game, sitting right outside of U of H for one last time for Lee Corso to put on that Cougar mascot helmet and just represent. You feel me? Another game that's going to really stand out this week, man, is going to be Oklahoma and the Auburn Tigers. Man, 2 undefeated 3-0 teams as well. They're going head-to-head. Sooners favored at home. Honestly, man, it's going to be another good game, tough game. But since the Sooners are at home, we'll have to ride with the Sooners. It's going to be pretty interesting, though, because the Sooners quarterback, Mateer, he's not mistake free. He's very problematic. 5 TDs, 3 interceptions. But he's thrown a lot of passes, man. But you look at the other side, and Arnold, he's on the board for 4 TDs, no turnovers as well. So we're looking at a more conservative offense. So it's going to be pretty interesting just to see how everything kind of shake out for both teams. But like I said, Oklahoma being at home, I like to see Oklahoma win this game. The third matchup I really want to highlight for the week is going to be the Indiana Hoosiers and the Illinois Fighting Illini. A lot of people will probably question why. Well, Illini is number 9 in the country. Indiana is number 19. And Illinois has yet to go against a team that's really going to compete against them. So this is the first major contest. It's a night game. Indiana is going to be lit up, man. And the interesting thing is, look, the public is riding with me. Most people are saying that Indiana is favored by at least 1 point, which means that it's not really much of a difference. But I think Indiana is going to pull this off just based off what they did last year and what they could possibly do this year. And then, like I said before, I feel like the Fighting Illini is going to be the first team to drop out of the playoff picture from the Power 5 teams or Power 4 teams, excuse me, that's going to be able to make a difference. And I like to see Indiana go ahead and do that for me. So let's turn the page, people. We got NFL recap. And the first thing I want to get into is the Dallas Cowboys. And we talk about that Dallas versus Giants game, man. It's very special. The Cowboys won, but man, you gotta give your flowers to Russell Wilson. Looking at what Russell Wilson did, he really went out there to try to really defy the odds. You know what I'm saying? 30 for 41, 450 yards passing, 3 TDs, special. You look at Wilson, man, a lot of people really thought that he should retire. But honestly, when I look at Russell Wilson, I see a player that could really, really still ball. Looking back at Russell Wilson's past 3 seasons, people don't want to really give it to him, but we're talking about 16 for 11, 26 for 8, 16 for 5. And now so far he's 3 for 1. Russell Wilson has been a dependable quarterback. And throughout his career, he's been a Hall of Fame eligible quarterback. He has been more than average. Yeah, he has made some average kind of plays, like when he, messed up that final play against the Patriots and turned the ball over and they lost the Super Bowl. But man, Russell Wilson is a player you got to really respect his game. And I feel like that Dallas game was a game that he really proved to not only himself, but to everyone else that he still got it. And he earned his spot. I really thought that the Giants might be out on him, and they might still find a way to be out on him because they already blamed last week's loss on him when they lost to Commanders. When they lost to the Commanders, they blamed it on Wilson, but it was a lot more going on than what Wilson really had going for himself. But man, Dallas really put that together, but really, you really got to get a hats off to Brandon Aubrey just to be able to kick 65-yard field goal, bro, with no problem, no hesitation, and really just knock that down. Man, that was really something special to see from the Dallas Cowboys to finally get their first victory. But overall, man, Dallas is not really a bad team. People don't really want to respect them. Like I said, man, I don't really feel like the pass rush is really the biggest issue. There's other issues for the Dallas Cowboys, but they really have a chance to really make a difference and really put some victories together. Honestly, looking at the Cowboys, bro, right now, they look like the best team in Texas. I really like to, talk about my Texans, bro, but we're not really looking like that. But I'm going to get on that a little bit later, The Jets, bro, disappointed me. I really thought that they was really going to surprise the Bills, come out and really make some plays. Justin Fields fell into concussion protocol. And then it was just like it was all downhill from there, I really thought that the Jets was really going to just put together a game plan. But obviously the game plan that they had in mind was not the right one to win. 30-10 loss for them is just crazy. Gary Wilson tried his best to win, but overall, I don't know if any of y'all seen the bloody nose from Josh Allen, but somehow the bloody nose was probably the biggest hit of the game, but it was also the biggest win for him because they still made it out with a dub, 30-10. Like I said, man, something special right there, baby. Looking at a couple other games that I wanted to highlight, across the season, man, I really thought Washington was really going to bring it to the Packers. And it's just crazy how they add Micah Parsons and, just build off of what they did last year and put this team together. They really made the Commanders look like something regular, in my opinion. And you look at how Jordan Love went out there, he was serviceable. Jaden Daniels did not play well at all. 24 for 42, 200 yards passing. Yeah, he had 2 TDs, no interceptions. He was sacked 4 times. Like, the pressure was there. The QB rating of him was dropping, bro. They was all over Jaden Daniels in that game. So if they have what it takes to neutralize Jaden Daniels, it really goes to show that Washington, the Commanders, does not have what it takes to really overcome these elite teams. And it also shows where Washington is, really ranked now. They're not ranked as a high elite team. They're just a team trying to make the playoffs. I feel like they're playoff hopeful, I would say. But the Packers, they're truly contending, and they really making the due diligence to build a Super Bowl team, in my opinion. Looking at the Eagles and Chiefs, we're talking about 2 heavyweights going back to back. And Mahomes out there really trying to make a difference. Without his receivers, it's really tough. But he still made the game competitive. Believe it or not, Travis Kelce stepped up. But the Eagles kept on doing what they do best. Running Saquon when needed. Getting the ball to the big playmakers when the time was right. And just, I was really impressed. Devontae Smith did what he had to do. A.J. Brown did what he had to do. Everybody played their role, played their part. Even A.J. Dillon played a major role. Jalen Hurts looked pretty subpar, honestly, but that goes back to, to talk about, is Jalen Hurts really an elite quarterback? I don't believe so. I feel like he's a game manager that's big and heavy that can run. He's like a fullback with an arm, almost like Tim Tebow, but he knows how to win. He didn't play terrible. He didn't hurt the team, but did he really help the team? Not really much, in my opinion. You look at Mahomes, he played okay, but Mahomes really needed that extra help. Mahomes really tried to pull the team with him to victory, but it just wasn't enough, But to say all that, man, to lose only 20-17, the Chiefs is not nowhere far from where they was before, Just because they 0-2, you could see the difference in this Chiefs team. They're really just missing their receivers. It might be missing a couple defensive players or someone that can get to the backfield and pass rush. But overall, man, the Chiefs, they're going to be back in the playoffs. And it's not just going to be because of Mahomes. It's going to be because they got a great coach over there. They know what they call them. They know what they doing. And everything that they building or already built is still there. So I don't expect much change in the Chiefs. Expect the Chiefs to win a lot of games this season, even though they're starting off 0-2. Don't be surprised if you look up and the Chiefs win 12 games with or without those receivers that they're missing right now. Seriously, let's get into the tape. There's so much to talk about. I got a whole breakdown. I got a lot of ongoing issues with the Texans. The first problem I want to talk about is the O-line. The O-line played terrible. I'm talking about if you're 5-on-5 and all you got to do is hold your man. Hold your man. You telling me that's the hardest job you got to do is to keep a man in front of you and don't let CJ get hit? You 330 pounds, 315 pounds, muscle, and all these other things that attribute to you being an offensive lineman, and you can't do your job. I've seen multiple times, multiple plays where it was 5-on-5 and it wasn't, an extra man blitzing from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but it was sometimes that it was. And once again, I see the same kind of load ups, the same kind of setups that come to CJ. And I don't think CJ is reading it, bro. I just don't feel like he's reading it. I don't feel like he's reading the pressure. I don't feel like he's keying off the mic to make the adjustment. And the one thing that I realized the biggest problem with the offensive line is they don't know their assignments. Nobody knows their assignments. I'm talking about the running back who's helping in pass protection or the fullback that's helping chip and then getting out. Nobody knows they assignment from left tackle to right tackle. Nobody knows. It's so many times where I see the center or the right guard back off for a pass play and play pass protection, but he's unaware of what's going on around him. He doesn't realize that somebody is coming right up under him, behind him to go get CJ, or he's too quick in an alarm to go jump on another guy that he's not even assigned to. So now I got two guys double teaming one guy, but then I got the linebacker coming right behind him, chipping and hitting CJ for the sack. Like, bro, you gotta see this. You gotta realize the motion, the keys. What kind of film are they looking at? And a lot of that goes back not only to CJ, it goes, and not only the line, it goes back to Nick Caley, man. It goes back to Nick Caley. Nick Caley, you get in the red zone and you get, I wouldn't even say conservative, you get dumb. You get dumb. The plays you calling at the goal line, I'm talking about 3 pass plays in a row, none of them successful. You get over there to the goal line because one pass play that was lucky, or you got there because a little bit of run, a little bit of gun, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Bro, come up with a better play. I mean, you calling plays like a 10-year-old playing Madden. Gosh. And it's like, I'm going back and looking at the film, and I can do a better job than that. I can make better adjustments than that. I'm looking at the game and I'm questioning, why is he calling it? Why are you calling certain plays in certain situations where you know it's not going to work? No motion, no keys to read. CJ supposed to have all this control. CJ, what are you doing? Somebody got to be on the right page, man. And I'm going to tell you this. With the OC not being on the same page as D'Amico Ryans and everybody being scrambled and lost and all that, and talking about, oh, we just didn't do enough in the film room. We didn't do enough at practice. We didn't do enough here and there. It's a big failure, bro. It's a big failure. The Texans got issues. They got a lot of problems, and the play calling from Nick Caley not getting it done. And I'm going to be honest. I feel like Nick Caley is really going to get D'Amico fired if he don't turn it around. We talking about another fresh OC coming in to learn how to call plays. You already went through that with the last offensive coordinator. So now you bring another young guy in that don't have a lot of experience in. D'Amico, your seat is hot, bro. And we look at the defensive side. Why can't we stop the run? What are we keying on? Like, what? This is the same thing on the defensive side. Who got what? Who's covering the A gap, the B gap, the C gap, the flow? What keys are y'all reading? I see Texan linebackers doing one thing, doing the opposite of what they need to be doing when it's a run play, and the opposite of what they need to be doing when it's a pass play. And then you see White and Bucky Irving and just running up the middle like at ease, bro. Like it's got to be some kind of change here. The tackling is terrible. I seen Toa miss several tackles, but it wasn't only him. It's the Texans all together. Why do we keep leading with our shoulders? You guys been tackling probably some of y'all for 20 years. You've been playing Pop Warner, middle school, high school. You got to know how to make a good tackle. And then you're not that big. You're trying to go against these big backs and you're trying to knock them down. Like, come on, bro. Let's just wrap them up. Wrap them up. Baker Mayfield could have been stopped on 4th and 10. Toa, he take the wrong angle to get to the backfield. Baker Mayfield ran right by him. That could have been the game right there. Had he took the right angle, that could have been a game. Had somebody else probably been in a gap that they supposed to be covering, that could have been a game. Because I'm pretty sure that it was somebody else in that area that was supposed to be able to help cover and protect as well. And they didn't. They didn't protect the first down from getting had. They let Baker Mayfield run right by him, plus some more. And then all the tackles that was missed on that play, it's just ridiculous, man. Man. And to say all this, bro, and the Texans only lost by 1 point. And I'm gonna be honest, the defense, it wasn't great. The offense was a D plus at best. The defense was a B minus. Honestly, and you got a question. Was it really on the defense that the Texans lost the game? Can you really just hang that on the defense? Or can you hang it on the offense to say that they did not do enough? You know, I feel like it's on both. But to be honest, the way they situated the defense in the end of the game, we're talking about 3 minutes left, and you got Baker Mayfield with the ball, and he got 3 timeouts, and the Texans pass rushers are finally feeling winded, especially when you start running 2-minute offense, and you already running it down their throat. The defensive tackles, I don't know, didn't plug, didn't hit no gaps that they supposed to. The linebackers tried, but didn't try hard enough, or just was, bro. Honestly, in my opinion, I feel like EJ Speed needs to take up some of them reps from Toa. You know, I like to see more EJ Speed. I don't know what's going on with Christian Harris. He's still a big question mark. But if we're going to allow teams to run on us like that, then the Texans definitely need to make a move for a linebacker. Alshear, he wasn't bad, but it's so much going on with this Texan team. And I'm going to be honest, bro, people, if the Texans can't get it together next week against the Jaguars or this week against the Jaguars, I don't see the Texans winning many games. I'm looking at 4 wins for the Texans right now, bro. 4 wins. You look at this upcoming schedule for the Texans, it's not looking good, people. I'm talking about the Jags, honestly. Before I even get into that, I don't even want to talk about it, but I got them losing to the Jags right now. And then you got the Titans. They probably beat the Titans, but then you're going to lose to the Ravens, the Seahawks, the 49ers, the Broncos, and then back to the Jags again. Like, it's not looking good for the Texans, starting off 0-2. I'm not feeling positive about them. The Chiefs, I see the positivity. The offense is still rolling. Mahomes is still figuring things out. Mahomes still got time to make plays. CJ has no time to make plays. CJ ain't picking up on certain reads. The defense can't stop the run. Derek Stingley looks average at best at some times. At some points of both games, I looked in the past 2 weeks against the Rams and against the Buccaneers. He looked average at best. And CJ Gardner-Johnson ain't looking no better. Neither is Lassiter or anybody on that team for that matter. Nobody's looking great besides Will Anderson Jr. Honestly, that's just my opinion. Will Anderson Jr. is the only highlight of the defense right now. But overall, they still playing like a B minus. But we're talking about this supposed to be a top 3 defense. They're not playing like it. So in that case, 4 wins for the Texans. D plus offense. Nico can't get open. He double teamed. Higgins is getting open, but for some reason the OC not calling the right plays to utilize the rest of the team. Good thing is though, I guess surprisingly, we finally got Christian Kirk coming back and Braxton Berrios, so maybe that might make a difference for the Texans this week. Just might, but even then, Jacksonville's still favored. But like I said, I'm not surprised. I think Jacksonville's going to beat the Texans, and the Jacksonville Jaguars haven't beat the Texans in Jacksonville since 2017. The Buccaneers hadn't beaten the Texans in 23 years. 23 years or 22 years. but they beat them the other night on Monday night. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Jacksonville go in at home and upset the Texans. You let me know down in the comments what y'all think, people. Because right about now, I'm not impressed by what the Texans got to bring or deliver. Moving on. So much stress from the Texans. People might be surprised by what I'm about to say, but so far, it's week 2, going into week 3, and early thoughts on rookie of the year for me, at least on the offensive side of the ball. This one guy is Tyler Warren for the Colts. Been balling out. I believe Tyler Warren has already won Rookie of the Week 2 times. Tyler Warren's stats has been pretty solid, 11 receptions in 2 games. No touchdowns as of yet, but he got 155 yards receiving. He's been helping in a lot of third down conversion situations and making big plays. So shout out to Tyler Warren. But hopefully when he come to Houston or when Houston go to the Colts, he don't do nothing. Hope we shut him down and the defense step up. Highlighting 2 matchups in the NFL for this week. The first matchup I want to talk about is the Rams and the Eagles. These 2 teams faced off against each other in the playoffs last season. So it's already a lot of juice. A lot of juice on the table. The Eagles bring in their receiving core. The Rams bring in their receiving core. You got Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown versus Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. Like, man, that's already something hot. And then just to throw in Saquon in the backfield, something special for the Eagles as well. Matt Stafford is already having a solid season. 3 TDs, 1 interception. Jalen Hurts has yet to throw a TD pass, but you know he's going to get his, and it's probably going to be the game that he does. Man, it's going to be something interesting this week. And also, just a quick reminder: 71 degrees, no rain, straight sunshine. So you ain't worrying about the weather factor this time. It's straight talent on talent, and both of these teams can really get it in outdoors this time with no effects. Looking at another matchup, I want to talk about Detroit and Baltimore. Detroit finally got their first win of the season. Baltimore dominated last week. Both teams are 1-1, and it's really going to be some fireworks, you know. I feel like Detroit now has awoken, and they're really starting to really just get the engines going. You know, they got that oil change, and they really about to rev it up. And honestly, you just don't know what you're going to get out the Ravens, though. We're talking about a Monday night game. The game is in Baltimore, though, so that's always in favor of the Ravens. But the Ravens only favored by 1 point, people. So looking at that, that says a lot. That says a lot. That means they really believe that Detroit is really still that team. You know, at first I almost had them counted out. I know I did say that the Lions could be that one team that ended up last in a division. But as someone that watches sports, you always got to make crazy decisions and say crazy things just to keep you, just to reel you back in. But hey, we're going to really see if this Lions team is really good. We're going to see if the Ravens are really good. I mean, the Ravens look like world beaters against the Bills the other day, and they lost. The Lions look like world beaters last week, so they won. But hey, it's going to be a nice matchup. Both quarterbacks are hot. Lamar Jackson, 6 TDs. Jared Goff, 6 TDs. And you got Jamar Gibbs and Derrick Henry going head-to-head. And both of these teams pretty much got a two-headed monster. Both of them got decent receivers and much more. And that's crazy to say that about Baltimore. So it's going to be interesting. Monday night, I'm riding possibly with the Lions, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the Ravens win because they're going to be at home. So, hey, we're going to see who's going to really set the tone in this game. It's go time, people. Dolphins, Bills. Bills favorite at home. Riding with the Bills. Packers, Browns. Browns at home. Green Bay favored by 7.5. I'm riding with the Packers. Colts and Titans. Indiana favored on the road by 4.5. I'm riding with the Colts. Bengals and Vikings. Minnesota favored at home by 2.5. I'm riding with the Bengals. Steelers and Patriots. Pittsburgh favored at home 1.5. I'm riding with the Patriots. Rams and Eagles. Philly favored at home 3.5. I'm riding with the Eagles. Jets and Buccaneers. Tampa favored at home by 6.5. I'm riding with the Buccaneers. Raiders and Commanders. Washington favored at home by 3.5. I'm riding with the Commanders. Falcons, Panthers. Atlanta favored on the road by 5.5. Believe it or not, I'm riding with the short guy. Go Carolina. Texans and Jaguars. Jacksonville favored by 1.5 at home. I'm riding with the Jaguars. Broncos and Chargers. Chargers favored at home by 2.5. I'm riding with the Broncos. Saints and Seahawks. Seattle favored at home by 7.5. I'm riding with the Seahawks. Cowboys, Bears. Dallas favored on the road by 1.5. I'm riding with the Cowboys. Cardinals and 49ers. San Francisco favored at home by 2.5. I'm riding with the Cardinals. Chiefs and Giants. Kansas City favored on the road by 6.5. Go Chiefs. Lions and Ravens. Baltimore favored by 4.5 at home. I'm riding with the Lions. Let's go. It's hot take time, people. And question of the week is, why are most HBCUs mascots usually tigers? I mean, you look at it, you got the Texas Southern Tigers, the Jackson State Tigers, Grambling State Tigers, the Southern Jaguars, Florida A&M Rattlers is an exception. Still pretty fierce though, right? Prairie View Panthers, and so on. Like, it's either a tiger or a panther or a jaguar, some kind of cat, right? And I really just took the time to think about it. And hey, shout out to my uncle Scotty, because this was a question that he brought up while we was at the TSU game. And I didn't know, but now doing the research, it's pretty interesting. Why are most HBCUs tigers? And I think it's because it's something that's fierce, strong, something different, or not even different, because you look at most teams, you got LSU Tigers, Auburn Tigers, it's a lot of Tigers, Clemson Tigers, or the Houston Cougars. It's a lot of teams like to follow cats. And I guess because when you look at cats, it's always been something fierce and strong, something that shows survival, pride, and much more, unless you really got a tie to something historical in your area or something with the people in your area. But I would say because they're fierce, they're fighters, and they stand toe-to-toe with anybody or anything. But why all tigers? Why not lions, right? Why not be the king of the jungle, as they say a lion is? So it's a good question. I think it's a good thing to look into, a good debate that you probably could, really read into as well. But why tigers? For all the HBCUs, why not no one wanted to truly be unique and just go in a whole other direction besides Florida A&M? So that's all I got, people. Thank you for listening to another episode of the HSC. And again, I want to thank C-Rix for being on the episode again. And don't forget to like and subscribe, show some love, let all your friends and family know about your boy D-Raw. And stay tuned for a solid song written by your own D-Raw.
Let's go, baby. Big money dreams. I wanna make a dime, but these companies block my shine. Try to cage the grind, but I'm not the average kind. Got a vibe they can't deny. One day they lost subscribe, your boy D with the Lord on his side. Blessings when I ride. Every morning I feel alive, faith heavy, spirit strong. This young king built to last, I can't do nothing wrong. They setting limits, but I'm breaking schemes. Turning spare time to a million dreams. Big money, big buildings, big bags. Step inside my world, see the big dreams I have. Don't fall for the schemes, live extreme. Fuck these companies.